X-Files Unlocked. Feminism fails, dating disasters, and zero chill vibes. Lads, picture this. Smashing a CEO goddess who swears she's not feminist. Cause no hairy pits. Cue emergency Google therapy session.
The thing that pisses me most off about the whole concept of feminism is that people think that it is anti-men.
Yeah.
And it's like, actually, if you're for women's rights, then you're a feminist. Like, you don't have to be a woman to be a feminist. In fact, we actually need more men to be feminists.
Yeah.
So maybe it's because it has the word feminine. People think like, oh,
Yeah.
we don't want to touch that. Like, I have a girlfriend who, she was like, oh, I'm not a feminist, but, and I was like, sorry, whoa, stop talking about. I said, what did you just say? She said, I'm not a feminist. I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, yeah, I'm not, I don't have hairy armpits. Like, I was like, babe, like, do you understand? And I went on my Google and I was like, do you understand what feminism means? It means you are pro women's rights. And she was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely pro women's rights. This is a woman who's a CEO of a business, like multi-million-dollar business. She is like a beast, stunning, beautiful, really feminine, but an absolute animal. Like, and she's standing there going, I'm not a feminist, because in her kind of mind, she doesn't relate to like the way that is portrayed. And I was just like, wow, like, we need to rebrand this concept.
Lads, the entitlement is wild. Rich aunties thriving, but blokes fuming cause their wallet's the only card left in the deck.
Now, don't get me wrong, I feel for this man. He wants love like anybody else. But the thing about it is there are some men that feel a certain sense of entitlement for wanting certain women. And when they can't get that, they get frustrated. That's why they get mad at the rich aunties. How dare you be rich and attractive and fit and have all these things going for yourself and you don't want a man? Like, I feel like they feel like women belong to them. So how dare you play hard to get? If I'm on a dating app, why aren't you throwing yourself at my feet? And they get frustrated when it doesn't work out like that. The fact that women have collectively decided to raise their standards is something that frustrates so many single men. Because as I said it before, and I'll say it many times again, settling is how a lot of them get picked. They don't want to come to the table with things that women actually want. They want to come to the table with money because that has been the easy solution for decades and decades and decades. But women are making their own money, so we're asking, what else you got? And a lot of them are tapping all over the place because they don't know what else they have. They can't add emotional intelligence, that they're kind, that they're patient, that they're romantic, that they know how to listen, or whatever it is. They can't add anything besides money. So when you say, I don't need your money, they don't know what else they can offer you. So they get frustrated with the women. Why aren't you throwing yourselves at us? If my life is already amazing and fulfilled, for you to come in here, you're not going to come in here and disturb the peace. You're either going to add to it, but I will never let you take anything away.
Lads, dating app horror reel incoming. From sexually frustrated confessions to herpes reveals and tax write-off tantrums, pure trash parade.
Just to let you guys know how low quality these men are on the dating apps, and that they're not really there to find their match. They're just there to play dating with you so they can try and hook up with you. These are what they'll do, and if they do any of these things, they're trash. Don't make the same mistakes I made. I had a guy that would get my seatbelt for me. He picked me up, took me to a restaurant, and then told me that he downloads and uses the apps because he's sexually frustrated. Got it. Another time I was walking to the bathroom, and when I came back, he said, hey, you didn't look very good from the back, but then when you turned around, I was like, oh, she's kind of pretty. Another guy told me in the middle of dinner that I was average looking, he was average looking, and that's why he thought it would work out. Also that he had a trailer that I could use if I ever needed it. Another guy, we were riding home, and I pointed out a nice restaurant I wanted to go to, and he said, maybe if you play your cards right. And obviously invited me over afterwards, and I said no. And even the ones that look like they have their shit together, like hotel executives, I've been on a couple dates with those. I literally was in the middle of the meal, and the guy had his friend come over and write off the whole meal. And then as he walked through the casino and said hi to everybody, we also got free tickets to shows. Like, the whole thing was written off. It was free. Another guy that I went on a date with, I didn't finish the drink. He kind of complained and said, oh well, at least they're tax write-offs. Then took me to a really nice restaurant and then asked me to come over afterwards, and pretty much threw a fit when I said no and just stormed off and was gone forever. Extreme Dusty, I dated for like almost 3 months, invited me over to his house for a bonfire, took me to like free car shows and a very cheap play. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. Probably the nicest date I went on, I went to a Vegas show, and the guy was a high school teacher. His house was a disaster, and he told me he had an incurable STD, the H. And I said, I can't chance that. He was a raging alcoholic and threw a fit. No, thank you. So anyways, these men on these apps are pure trash, and they're playing dating with you. They're playing taking you on a date because they want to try and see how easy you are. Don't make it easy. Make them wait. If they wait, they might like you. Also make them buy stuff for you and take you places you actually want to go. Otherwise, don't waste your time. Spend your time on yourself.
Lads, bloke matches a boss educator, probes her career, then drops the ultimate neg. But can you cook greens though? Mic drop.
Last night I went on a walk with a friend. She and I were catching up. I hadn't seen her in a while. And she asked me about my love life, which I never talk about on this platform. But I thought this story was worthy of your consideration. I shared with her the experience that made me realize that dating apps were not for me. I had matched with this gentleman, and we were having an initial conversation, and he starts to ask me about my work. Now, because I know the scale of work that I do and the many accomplishments that has come with it, I really don't bring it up. I don't talk about it. I never lead with that. And so I keep it really general. I said, well, I'm an educator and I'm really passionate about mental health. And so he's like, oh, okay, this is great. What exactly do you teach? What level do you teach? And so I share that information, and the questions become more and more pointed to the point where I'm like, okay, we're having the work conversation. And so I provide a brief summary of the work that I do in terms of my career, my scholarship, and the platform that I have built on social media. And his response was, but can you cook a pot of greens? There's a word for this. Actually, there's a few words for this, but the word is called negging, not nagging, not N-A-G, N-E-G. Negging is backhanded compliments or seemingly playful compliments that are designed to take you down a peg, to put you in your place. And if I was a different woman, I could have laughed it off like, ha ha ha, you so crazy. But I'm not that woman. And so a few things crystallized for me in that moment. Number one, love would not find me in this manner. Number two, the work that I do puts me in rooms that I would not be able to leave him in unattended, lest he say something inappropriate and then have people questioning my judgment. And number three, I could not help but wonder, would you have asked a white woman this question? Would you have asked a white woman, can you cook a pot of greens? Which I can, by the way, but that's not the point, is it? It gave me some perspective about his perception of black women, of dating a black woman, and that regardless of what I accomplished in this life, that my value would always be tied to my output, my labor, and my service, my willingness to serve. And so I will leave you with this. Be wary of anybody who looks at all that you are and sees you as a resource to be used rather than a person to be loved.
Lads, fake feminism roast. Princess treatment ain't empowerment, it's misogyny and glitter. Plus Simone Biles gets photoshopped, while Phelps gets medals.
I feel like a conversation a lot of people don't want to have and aren't ready to have yet is how misunderstood and misrepresented feminism is. Like, one, there's this whole trend on social media of my man better pay for this for me and pay for that for me, and he better do this and that for me because it's girl power, princess treatment, feminism, whatever. It's not feminism, and it's actually not women empowerment. It's misogyny repackaged into a pink sparkly bow, because you are perpetuating the idea that a woman must be dependent on a man for resources, for means of living. That being said, you are allowed to have preferences in a relationship. You're allowed to prefer a man who will pay for you, or you're allowed to prefer a man who's rich, but don't put it under this disguise of feminism and girl power, because it's not. If you were a feminist, you would not believe that it's a man's role to provide for you. You would believe that you are supposed to provide for yourself and you can be independent as a woman. But again, don't get me wrong, I like when someone treats me out for dinner. I like when someone pays for me, but I won't expect it. I won't say that it's their obligation, it's their role. A lot of people are gonna call me a pick-me or hate on me for saying this, but I go into all my dates expecting to pay for half the bill. Whether or not they decide to pay for the full thing is up to them, but I will not hold it against them if they want to split the bill. Another thing is feminism and how it's misrepresented through publications and social media. We'll get a very accomplished and empowered woman, will paint her face in makeup, put her in a flashy outfit, retouch her face, cinch her waist in on Photoshop, make her tits bigger, call her a girl boss, and the day is done. That's feminism for the day. The same thing that happened 50 years ago, 40 years ago, 30 years ago, 60 years ago, etc. Except this time we're calling her a girl boss, and so is feminism. No, we're again just supporting misogynistic systems under the idea of, oh, feminism. Here's an example. This is Michael Phelps. He's a legend in the Olympics. We all know who Michael Phelps is. And of course, his magazine covers are showing his merit, are showing his accomplishments. And we go to Simone Biles, and yes, we do have some of her in gymnastics, but then the first two that pop up are her in a dress, her in makeup. It supports this idea that a woman needs to be beautiful, needs to be all done up just to be taken seriously. But of course, she is allowed to feel beautiful. She's allowed to look beautiful. I'm not saying she isn't, but the fact that these are the first few images that come up when you search Simone Biles magazine cover compared to Michael Phelps magazine cover says a lot. Why can't we just celebrate her based off her merit without having to highlight her beauty and her femininity? She is an insane athlete and she needs to be recognized as such. It's all these ideas of my man better pay for me and also different things like that, like the magazine cover, that's causing people to have pushback on feminism because they think it's useless. And it's not. I think feminism is still very much needed in today's society. It's just so misunderstood and so misrepresented that people are starting to resent it because it's seen as abusing the power of oppression. People are seeing feminism as, oh yeah, we were oppressed back in the 1950s, so now you have to give me everything I want. That's not what feminism is.
All right, lads, let's wrap this madness up. We've just watched a full parade of dating app disasters. From sexually frustrated confessions and play your cards right cringe, to the legendary, but can you cook a pot of greens? Neg that deserves its own war crime tribunal. We've seen CEOs who run empires but think feminism means armpit hair, and blokes melting down because rich aunties won't settle for their one lonely wallet card. Bottom line? Modern dating is a dumpster fire with extra glitter. The apps are full of players treating relationships like a free trial, while half the world still thinks feminism is about princess treatment or Photoshop waists instead of actual equality. So here's the tea. Raise your standards. Make them wait. Expect better than tax write-off tantrums and herpes plot twists. And if someone sees your achievements and immediately asks what you can cook or clean, next. You're not a resource, you're the whole damn prize. If this chaos hit home, smash that like, drop your worst dating horror in the comments, and subscribe for more X-Files Unlocked. Until next time, stay savage, stay single if you have to, and never settle for dusty. Peace.